Hello, everybody. Pull up a chair and grab your coffee because we're settling in for a deep dive today. I think you're going to want to hear about what I think may happen to our money in the next few months. And I'm going to build this case in the next few minutes, so stick with me here. We're basically going to explore the essence of money, what it truly represents, why the current system feels like it's fraying at the edges, and how the coming decade and a half could reshape your financial world entirely. If you've ever puzzled over why it seems like the whole planet is suddenly stockpiling gold and maybe even silver like it's toilet paper, well, stay with me here. By the time we're done, you'll understand how the United States could simply adjust a few little figures on paper, wipe away a big portion of our gigantic debt, and reclaim the dollar's throne as the undisputed global currency. It might sound far-fetched, but the wheels are already turning. To take you through it, I'm going to hand this off to my digital avatar, Marcus. So Marcus, take it away.
Let's step back in time to 1971, when President Nixon delivered a jolt to the international financial system by closing the gold window. Before that moment, every dollar was essentially a claim on the gold stored in Fort Knox. 1 ounce for $35, straightforward and reliable. But the pressures of the Vietnam War, coupled with oil crises and unchecked money printing, made maintaining that link impossible. In an instant, the dollar transformed into pure fiat currency, backed by nothing more than government decree and global faith. Central banks around the world shrugged and continued to accumulate U.S. treasuries, largely because the dollar had become the language of the oil trade. Exchange it for Saudi crude, and the global economy kept humming. Yet that foundational agreement is now showing serious signs of erosion and disintegration. Jumping ahead to the present, our national debt has ballooned to $38 trillion, with interest payments alone surpassing the entire defense budget. China is steadily offloading its bond holdings, while BRICS nations murmur about conducting oil deals in yuan, and U.S. sanctions are backfiring. Russia, for instance, now demands rubles for its natural gas. Trust in the system is waning, prompting a subtle but intense global competition for tangible assets, beginning with gold. Under modern banking rules, gold is valued at its full market price, and central banks have been acquiring it at a feverish pace. 1,240 tons in 2023, and even more the following year. And this year and last year, it has gotten crazy. Rumors swirl about China's overflowing vaults, bolstered by purchases through state-affiliated companies. India has boosted its reserves by 30%, and even inflation-plagued Turkey has added 70 tons. These moves aren't random. They're strategic preparations for an uncertain future. When confidence in paper money falters, the allure of enduring metals shines brighter. Silver is quietly emerging as another key player in this shift. As an industrial powerhouse essential for solar panels, electric vehicles, and semiconductors, its supply chains are strained, with mines struggling to meet demand. Should gold climb to $5,000 an ounce, silver could easily surge to $200. Dismiss precious metals as relics of the past at your peril. They serve as a safeguard against the decline of empires. Hard assets like land have appreciated too, but they're immobile. Gold and Bitcoin, on the other hand, transcend borders. While digital gold isn't identical to its physical counterpart, its role in this narrative is growing, and we'll circle back to that soon. Turning to the U.S. perspective, the Treasury still values its gold reserves at the antiquated rate of $42.22 per ounce, a holdover from the 1934 Depression-era policies. We possess approximately 8,133 metric tons, equivalent to about 261.5 million fine troy ounces, securely stored in places like Fort Knox, the Federal Reserve Bank of New York, and other facilities. At today's market price of about $4,880 per ounce, that's equivalent to roughly $1.276 trillion. A revaluation would create instant value without printing a single new bill. It's essentially an accounting adjustment, akin to reappraising your home and using the increased equity to offset debts without a cash transaction. With $38 trillion in total debt, the gold alone could contribute over $1 trillion in raw value. Amplify that by marking up other assets, leveraging the gains, and issuing properly backed bonds, and you trigger a cascade of debt reduction. Experts quietly suggest that at $4,000 per ounce, we could trim about $1 trillion. At $8,000, over $2 trillion. This isn't mere speculation, it's a long-standing oversight in generally accepted accounting principles. From a political standpoint, it's an ideal solution. No need for unpopular tax increases or cuts to Social Security. A simple Federal Reserve directive, perhaps followed by a discrete congressional approval, and suddenly the debt to GDP ratio drops by 15 points. Markets might initially panic, gold prices dipping on speculation, bonds surging, but equilibrium would return as lawmakers affirm the change. Foreign investors would likely applaud, since a financially stable America means stronger demand for their exports, from jets to soybeans to entertainment, invigorating their own economies in the process. Revaluation, however, is merely the opening act. The real transformation comes with reinstating a form of backing for the dollar, not the rigid convertibility of the Bretton Woods era, where paper could be swapped directly for gold bars, as that's a relic of the past. Instead, envision a modern fractional reserve system with real substance. Perhaps 10% of the M2 money supply anchored to a diversified basket, with gold comprising 60%, silver 20%, and Bitcoin 15%. Why include Bitcoin? Its scarcity is absolute, unbound by any government, and impossible to inflate arbitrarily. President Trump has even proposed ideas like the Strategic Reserve Act, where the U.S. could acquire 1 million Bitcoins, valued at $60 billion at $60,000 each, as a bold declaration of intent. This would legitimize cryptocurrency, diminish its underground allure, subsidize domestic miners, and promote sustainable energy practices like geothermal power for the grid. Wall Street would embrace it wholeheartedly. Envision a dollar that's not strictly gold-backed, but redeemable against a verified mix of vaulted assets. Investor confidence would soar, prompting foreign exchange traders to realign their strategies. The euro would weaken, as the European Central Bank lacks a comparable asset foundation. The yuan remains tethered to China's real estate woes and fiat nature. The dollar could appreciate by 10% almost immediately, making imports more expensive, think pricier iPhones, but sparking a resurgence in domestic manufacturing, with factories revitalized in places like Ohio. Employment opportunities would expand, inflation would be reined in by the strengthened currency, and even deflationary pressures would be buffered by the underlying gold value. In any scenario, those holding assets would come out ahead. Considering the potential timeline, the 2026 election cycle presents a pivotal window, with midterms on the horizon. The incoming administration, regardless of party, would seek a signature achievement. A revaluation measure could be embedded in a comprehensive spending bill. By 2027, the Treasury might begin its first Bitcoin acquisitions, auctioning off outdated bonds and channeling proceeds into cryptocurrency through established regulated platforms like CME futures, but under direct government oversight. Come 2028, the asset basket becomes operational. New dollar bills featuring a QR code that links to a transparent reserve dashboard, fostering unwavering trust. On the world stage, competitors would hustle to respond. Switzerland might reinforce its gold-centric reputation, but America's sheer volume overshadows it. Developing economies would realign toward the dollar for its reliability, evolving the petrodollar into an asset dollar paradigm, where oil transactions remain in dollars but now carry the implicit assurance of tangible backing. To delve deeper, I anticipate some skepticism. This might evoke images of conspiracy theorists in tinfoil hats, but rest assured, it's firmly grounded in historical precedent. Recall the 1930s, when FDR revalued gold from $20.67 to $35 per ounce, effectively devaluing the dollar by 30% overnight. Yet, it propelled the economy out of the Great Depression, boosting exports and industrial activity. Today, we face analogous challenges: sluggish growth, widening inequality, and repetitive debt ceiling dramas. A contemporary revaluation would echo FDR's approach, infused with blockchain innovation. Breaking down the mechanics, the U.S. maintains approximately 8,133 metric tons of gold based on recent audits, equating to about 261 million ounces. At the outdated book value of $42.22 per ounce, it's a meager $11 billion on the ledger, a laughable undervaluation. As of early 2026, market prices are climbing. Revaluing would elevate the asset, creating a huge gain directly for the Treasury. This debt reduction operates as a straightforward accounting maneuver. The Federal Reserve adjusts the gold certificate account upward and credits the Treasury's general fund, which then retires high-interest bonds, easing the overall load. Detractors claim it would spark inflation, But that's misguided. No fresh currency floods the economy. It's purely a balance sheet refinement, similar to refinancing a mortgage at favorable terms. From the 38 trillion debt, we could readily subtract 2 to 3 trillion, depending on the chosen valuation. An aggressive approach, revaluing to 5,000 amid turmoil, adds 1.3 trillion. Factor in silver holdings, 43,000 tons, currently undervalued but worth another 100 billion at $30 per ounce, plus other strategic resources, and the total erasure could reach 5 trillion. Debt to GDP would fall from 120% to below 90%, restoring fiscal breathing room. Why limit ourselves to gold and silver? Bitcoin enters the equation as the vibrant orange asset. Critics may scoff, but its cap supply of 21 million coins parallels gold's inherent rarity, immune to central bank manipulation. The US is already a mining powerhouse, with supportive infrastructure in Texas and Wyoming. Designating Bitcoin as a reserve asset achieves dual goals: soaking up surplus liquidity without inflation and establishing America as the forefront of digital finance. Picture the Treasury acquiring 500,000 Bitcoins over 5 years. At 65,000 apiece, that's 32 billion initially. Following the announcement, prices could skyrocket to 200,000, generating massive unrealized gains to underpin innovative dollar tools, like a digital reserve note for international tech commerce. This vision isn't speculative fantasy. Legislation such as the Lummis-Gillibrand Act is paving the way. Globally, El Salvador has adopted Bitcoin as legal tender, and a US endorsement would compel others to act. China's crypto bans would sideline them, while Europe's regulatory hesitance cedes ground to American dominance. The dollar's fortification stems from its evolution into a verifiable claim on audited assets, reshaping forex dynamics. The USD Euro might rise 15%, USD CNY 20%. Weaker emerging currencies could plummet, reminiscent of the Turkish lira's woes, but that's a consequence of their delayed diversification. The broader impacts are profound. At home, a robust dollar would discourage cheap imports, encouraging reshoring of industries, semiconductors in Arizona, electric vehicles in Michigan, creating millions of jobs and lifting blue-collar wages amid labor shortages. Inflation would be contained, as the asset backing imposes natural limits. Excessive M2 expansion would dilute the reserve ratio, with market prices of gold, silver, and Bitcoin serving as early warnings to enforce budgetary restraint. Trillion-dollar deficits would cease being routine. Of course, challenges loom. The shift could trigger sharp volatility, stocks dropping 20% on initial fears before rebounding 50% as optimism takes hold. Gold enthusiasts might sell off peaks, briefly oversupplying the market, while Bitcoin holders could liquidate, though treasury purchases would mitigate the dip. Geopolitically, Russia and China might hasten efforts to bypass the dollar, but lacking a cohesive alternative, their initiatives would falter. A BRICS gold-backed currency sounds appealing in theory, but internal divisions ensure its failure. The US strategy effectively corners them: adapt to the asset dollar framework or risk irrelevance. Shifting focus to current preparations, nations are engaged in a massive accumulation spree. Central banks devoured over 1,000 tons net in 2025. China's reported holdings stand at 2,257 tons, but covert acquisitions via Hong Kong likely exceed 3,000. Russia holds 2,300 tons, India over 1,000, and even Poland has amassed 380 tons. The motivation? A depreciating dollar where treasury yields scarcely outpace inflation, combined with sanctions that have turned finance into a weapon, making hard assets the ultimate shield. Beyond gold, silver's role in green technologies amplifies its appeal. Solar photovoltaics alone account for 20% of yearly output, and as electric vehicles proliferate, prices could reach $50 effortlessly. The private sector is equally active. Influential figures like Ray Dalio advocate for all-weather portfolios, allocating 10 to 15% to gold. Everyday investors access fractional ownership through apps like Robinhood, while Bitcoin ETFs attracted $50 billion last year, with institutions controlling 5% of the supply. The global community is bracing for a monetary overhaul, as the fiat model, now over 50 years old, reveals its flaws through ongoing inflation, deepening wealth divides, and escalating currency conflicts. In response, the US could revalue its assets, institute backing, and reassert dominance. A refined timeline points to 2026, post-election, when the new leadership seeks a decisive action. Legislation could advance in a lame duck period, setting an initial gold peg at $4,000 or $5,000, prudent yet allowing for growth. This would deliver an instant $2 trillion in debt relief. Phase 2 would introduce the asset basket. Gold as the foundation, silver for balance, Bitcoin for dynamism. By 2030, the dollar's share of global reserves could rebound to 70% from the current 60%. For the everyday individual, the strategy is clear. Diversify immediately. Consider doing what Ray Dalio discusses. Allocate 10% of your portfolio to physical gold and silver or ETFs for convenience. Approach Bitcoin with dollar cost averaging, avoiding speculative chases. Invest in real estate in resilient markets and steer clear of heavily leveraged bonds. Should revaluation occur, asset values would surge before settling at elevated levels, rewarding those who positioned early. Critics abound, arguing that this favors accumulators while overlooking debtors, though lower post-adjustment rates would soften the blow. Bitcoin's fluctuations are a valid concern, hence its modest allocation. Doubts about government crypto management persist, yet the SEC's existing oversight demonstrates capability. Ultimately, the advantages prevail: restored faith, economic expansion, and sustained international preeminence. History often echoes itself. Rome's debasement of the denarius led to its downfall, and Britain forfeited reserve currency status after World War II. The US, however, has a knack for adaptation. This impending reset isn't a downfall, but a progression. Nations are amassing precious metals in anticipation of change. America's gold revaluation would shed burdensome debt, and anchoring the dollar to hard assets like gold, silver, and Bitcoin would bolster it, undermine competitors, and cement its supreme status. I think we could see a future of an asset-backed dollar again, rather than a collapse. The extra digital utility of Bitcoin might add technological advancements to it. The dollar as it exists today wouldn't go away, but since the transaction rails have already been built to use the dollar, it continues to exist in the strongest form that it has existed in since 1971. So you should keep an eye on central bank disclosures, monitor gold movements, and follow cryptocurrency legislation.
Developments could accelerate rapidly. What are your thoughts? Revaluation within the year, maybe 2 years? Bitcoin as a reserve? Gold as a reserve? Both? Share it in the comments. Like if this sparked new insights, and subscribe for more. Stay informed and stay proactive. I'm Mark Yegi. Trade well.